Hey, welcome back to networking. Today we're looking at wireless configurations and we're just taking a very short, well, I'd say a very simple look at how wireless works inside of a Linux system. Now, of course, you can always go over and look at your wireless interface and bring up that GUI list, the graphical list, where it shows you all the wireless networks and what they do. But from our boxes, we're going to take it a little differently. We're going to look at the interface using iwconfig first of all. So IW is what those are the wireless tools. Actually, you IW, and there are a number of different IW tools we have. The only ones we're going to look at today are IWList and IWconfig. Now, ifconfig, of course, is still there, and you can do ifconfig WLAN 0 and an IWconfig WLAN 0. By doing that, you're actually looking at different stats. You're looking at different descriptions of the interface. Over here, we can see the IP address and things of that sort, which there is no IP address. What we can see right now is just the MAC address. That's the MAC address right there. Now, on IWconfig, we can see if it's associated with an access point, how strong the connection is, how many decibels we have, etc. So you can look at those things inside of IWconfig. Now, I'm not connected to anything right now, so I am not associated, so there is no strength for my connection. Now, looking at a few other options, like I mentioned when you said IWList, we can say IWList WLAN 0, which you can see is my interface right here, WLAN 0. And I can say IWList WLAN 0 scanning. Now, you don't actually have to type the entire word scanning. You can just type scan, and it'll do the same thing for you. So you're going to type scan there. Now, this gives us a lot of information about networks that are available. We can look through those. But that's kind of busy. There's a whole lot of stuff in there. Let's say we only wanted the ESSID and maybe the encryption key. But let's look at the ESSID. So over here, we'll pipe this out. We'll say grep ESSID, like this. Now when we run this, it's only going to show us the names of the networks that it finds. Well, there's another thing up here. There's encryption. Maybe we can look for those with encryption key off. Or we can look for quality. So let's check that out. So over here, we're going to add the extended regular expressions option for grep. So do the -E, and that gives you your regular expressions extension. And we're going to put a pipe here. And in this case, it's not a pipe like a Unix pipeline. It's inside the quote, and it's not a Unix pipeline. And we're also doing the -E, which this becomes an OR. So we're looking at ESSID, or we're looking at quality. And I think that was, proper case. Good. And we're looking at encryption, like this. So we're looking for those three. Press enter. And now we can see what level of service we get on each one of those networks. Now, first, we have encryption right there. But the very first part of it, you can see the ESSID is actually the last portion. The first part is quality. So let's go through and let's look for, we're going to grep for off right there, looking for keys that are off. And we'll do a C1. Now that's the same thing as doing an A1 and a B1. A1 is show one line after, and B1 is show one line before. For instance, if I show one line after the off, and I'm looking for the key off, it'll show us the SSID. If I show one line before, a B1, then it finds off, and it shows us the one line before. And if I want to find both of those, I can type them both, but you can just type C1, and what that will do is it goes one line before and one line after. Now you can see we're only looking at the networks that have no encryption key. We can see what the quality is, and we can find out which one we might want to log into. All right, having done that, let's move to the next part. Next part is going to be apt-get install aircrack. We're not going to be doing much with aircrack-ng today, so go ahead and grab apt-get install aircrack-ng, and you only need a single terminal to run all of the commands we're running today. So today is kind of it's not a systems day, it's a network day, so we're not going to be popping in to several different terminals. We're going to do everything from a single terminal. So now that we have that in, let's go ahead and look at airmon. So we're going to type airmon-ng. This pops up. There is a chance that you may have to do an RF kill. If you do have to do an RF kill, then you'll need to just type the RF kill command based on what it tells you. It's going to tell you what interface to use on how to kill it. So it will give you information. But what I'll do is type airmon-ng start WLAN 0. When we type that, and over here it's saying, hey, you may want to run check kill. This is the airmon. This is not RF kill. This one's check kill. It says, hey, you may want to run that. We can see that kind of a thing. But there you go. So we've got that kind of thing. That's there. For me, looks like everything's going to be just fine. And it says everything went just great. I'm going to type airmon-ng again. And we can see that now WLAN 0 has become WLAN 0 mon. Now with WLAN 0 mon, I'm going to go ahead and do an air crack. Now, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. We're not doing that in this class. We're doing an airbase. So let's go ahead and do an airbase. Let's pick a channel. So a lowercase c, we'll say a channel 11. We can pick our ESSID like this, and we can just make it, you know, demonstration class or demo site, demo access point, whatever you want to do. If you put it in quotes, you can make it multiple words long. You can make it verbose, but you need to tell it WLAN 0 mon and do that. By the way, I am root for everything I've done. I have been sudo-est into the box. So as you go through, if you looked at the Wi-Fi config now, you would see, like on your cell phone or another computer, you would see there's a new network out there called demo access point. And that's it. So once you see that access point, then we're not offering DHCP, we're not offering DNS, we're just throwing it out there. If somebody tries to connect, it will try to negotiate, it will fail. You can negotiate, it will actually negotiate the wireless, but that's all it can do. You can put a couple of more options in there. You can turn on WPA and WEP extensions, or you can go over and just turn on like WEP extensions like that and make it WBP, or you can actually specify the WEP key, whatever you want it to be, and do that. Now invalid key length, whatever my WEP key needs to be. There we go. So now I got that. Let's see if I can do it .w1. And that's a WEP key. So that's all there is to that. Now, the last thing we'll look at is airbase-ng. You can set a channel. So I'll just set a channel 11. Instead of setting the ESSID, I'm actually going to go into promiscuous mode. So I'm going to do a -P there, a -V for being verbose, and then I'm going to tell it what network, so WLAN 0 mon. So this allows us to go into promiscuous mode. The V is going to be verbose, so it's going to show us everybody who tries to connect, and you'll see everybody who tries to connect and what networks they're trying to connect to. You'll see those pop up on the screen. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kill this right here. Click. That's all there is for this lab. We need to now stop this. If you want to go play with this, create some networks, look at them. If you want to experiment with DNS and DHCP and actually allow people to connect through and give yourself route 1 and allow people to IP route through your computer, we do cover that in the hacking series, but we don't cover it here. And you can look that up online, of course, anytime, and find those commands. Right now, let's go ahead and airmon-ng, stop WLAN 0. I'm sorry, WLAN 0 mon. Now that's dead. I'm going to do an airmon-ng and I make sure that it is back to normal. It is. It's no longer WLAN 0 mon. Now WLAN 0. I'm going to see if my interface is alive. So I'm going to do a IW list, WLAN 0, scan, not up. So ifconfig, WLAN 0 up. Now it's up, and I can scan with it once again, and it will come up with all that information it did before. So I did that up right there, and then I did the scan. I'm going to comment that out. I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.